Where am I?
Well, you seem to have played a lot of different themes, Mr. Morgan.
Yes, well, you see, the eligibility rules were not as strict in those days, my boy. I dare say you'd be very surprised, for example, if I told you I once attended 2 universities simultaneously.
I'd be surprised if it was true.
I see. Mr. Stern, would you be surprised if it was true?
No, not at all.
See? Here's a man that doesn't know me. We could use a chap like you on this program, Mr. Stern.
Why were you going to 2 colleges at once, Touchback?
Colleges. Yes. Well, I was very anxious to pursue a course in the philosophy of integral relations, which could only be attained under the famous Professor Crabkin at Mildew College. At the same time, you understand, I was studying the mathematics of poetry under Professor Trasco at Wiesent University.
I suppose you played on both football teams.
Exactly. I was a Mildew end and at the same time a Wiesent halfback.
It's amazing how little you've changed since 1912.
A barnyard witticism.
All right.
I played brilliantly for both teams during the entire season without anyone suspecting my double life. But imagine my consternation when it was announced just before the Christmas holidays that Mildew and Wiesent were to meet in a postseason game in the famous Finger Bowl.
Well, now, how could you play on both teams, Mr. Morgan?
Well, it was a grueling experience, Mr. Stern. I was practically exhausted before the game began, running back and forth between the rival locker rooms getting last-minute instructions. I was in a sweat.
Nervous, huh?
No, I was wearing 2 uniforms. Well, the game began, and I started for Wiesent. The Mildew team was frantic at my disappearance.
Well, didn't they recognize you on the other side?
No. I wore a large nose guard, which obstructed my vision part of the time. Despite this handicap, I managed to score a touchdown for Wiesent and kick the goal just as the first quarter ended.
It's now 7-0, favor of Wiesent.
Yes. When the teams changed sides, I removed my nose guard and pitched in for dear old Mildew. It didn't take me long to make another touchdown for Mildew, kicking the goal while the Wiesent coach searched frantically for his ace blocker.
That's you.
Yes.
The score is now tied 7-7.
I kept things even to the half, but during the rest period, I was further exhausted, receiving massages from the trainers on both teams.
Who did you start for in the second half?
Well, I went out to fight for the motley and blue of old Wiesent. But by prodigious running and tackling, I managed to keep the score even till almost the end of the fourth quarter.
Well, now, which team did you want to see win, Mr. Morgan?
I was torn between conflicting loyalties, Mr. Stern. I loved the motley and blue of old Wiesent. But when I looked up in the stands and saw the piebald and gray of Mildew, a pang ran through my moleskin.
What happened, Drawback?
I finally got the ball for Wiesent. I ripped through a hole in center and with magnificent courage dived through the whole Mildew team. There were just 15 seconds to play, and I was about to cross the line for a touchdown.
You were going to let Wiesent win?
Wait. I was crossing the 5-yard line at 40 miles an hour when I suddenly realized I'd made the wrong decision. By a superhuman effort, I stopped in midair, tackled myself, fumbled for Wiesent, recovered for Mildew, and started back. I changed uniforms as I crossed the 50-yard line and streaked for the Wiesent goal. The Mildew stands went crazy. The clock showed 2 seconds to play, and the whistle blew just as I flew across the goal line.
That was wonderful, Frank. What made you change your mind?
Well, I just happened to remember my car was parked at that end, and I didn't want to get caught in the rush. Well, so long, Bill. Good luck in the Rose Bowl.
Right now, Warren, it's just about time to pause for our familiar Thursday evening custom.
Right-o, Bob. And what better way to toast the new year than with a cup of steaming, fragrant Maxwell House coffee and the music of Meredith Willson. Ready, Meredith? We now pause briefly for station identification.
KFI Los Angeles.
With 1938 drawing to a close, Meredith Willson brings you a review of songs, many of which he introduced for the first time on the air on our Good News program. Inasmuch as we only have 1 hour on the air, you can see the spot Meredith was in. So he just put the names of all the songs into a hat, blindfolded the studio janitor, and let him do the drawing. Among the numbers he picked was one that I had a hand in introducing myself. And if I do say so, it's a real classic. Start your song review, Meredith.
Looks like it's never to do.
a happy little ditty. I know the music isn't pretty. You know the words are not so witty. Anyone can sing this song except me.
It really doesn't matter. It's still a lot of silly chatter. Oh, hum, we're coming to the patter.
Humpty Dumpty had a big fall, and thanks very much for the use of the hall.
I must say the music isn't pretty. Must say the words are not so witty. It's still a happy little city.
Anyone can sing this song.
Seven days that got together, they decided to become a week. As they grew and grew, the 52 weeks decided to become a year. That's why 60 seconds every minute, 60 minutes every hour, every day, every week, and every year. All I do is dream of you, my dear. Ferdinand, when the picador faced him, Ferdinand, he winked and the picador chased him. Ferdinand, if you see your case is so likely, when the picador gets it, my Ferdinand kissed him, for he never learned. Ferdinand, he found when the picador faced him. Ferdinand, he winked and the picador chased him. Ferdinand, if you see your case is so likely, when the picador gets it, my Ferdinand kissed him, for he never learned to fight. He never learned to fight. Woo, woo! Why don't you make your way there? Go there. Once you get that family way, every evening, every day, you will find yourself doing the land of what I.
I taste it. I lost my little biscuit, and if I do not get it back, I know that I will die.
Was it red?
No.
Was it blue?
No.
Was it green?
No.
Well, what color was it?
I know.
Oh, you do too. It's the same color as your party dress.
Oh, it's black.
No, your party dress isn't black.
It is too. I fell in the mud.
Well, the color of the basket is a yell.
Huh?
Yell.
Ah!
What are you crying for?
It's just me to yell.
I mean the color was yellow.
It was my little yellow basket. I like it.
And now everybody's favorite of the past year, by mere bits of shame.